Hey everybody, it's Jax again for my Popcorn Review Podcast. Today's going to be my episode 79, AEW Dynamite Spring Breakthrough. This episode started off right away. MJF coming in, Renee trying to stop him, and apparently he didn't know that Andrade lost, so Don Callis broke the news to him, and so did Renee. He tells Don Callis that you owe me one because your boy couldn't handle it. So, what kind of favor does the Don Callis family now owe MJF? We'll see how that plays out in the future. But as of right now, we do have MJF coming to the ring because Darby's waiting for him. MJF comes out. He pretty much says, I'm going to sue everybody. How would AEW look if I was injured and I wasn't able to be cleared for this match, but I'm being forced into it? Now, he says he'll sue Warner Discovery. He'll sue Tony Khan. He'll sue everybody in the arena. He'll sue the referee. He'll sue everybody. And then he also tells Darby, Darby, you're also not ready for this. You're not ready. And Darby Allin goes, if I'm not ready now, I'll never be ready. And during his promo, Darby goes, he starts like he's in tears, he's like shaking. And honestly, I didn't think Darby Allin's going to win this, guys. I thought MJF's run was just too good right now for him to drop the title. But once I saw Darby Allin crying and tearing up during that promo, I was like, he's got a shot. Maybe they told him today he was going to win, or, he's going to do it in his hometown as well. The 10 years that he's been plus 10 years plus that he's been doing this is going to pay off finally. TNT champion, tag champion, and now, long story short, tremendous build for this. Like they said, it was like a 3 year or so that him and Darby been going back and forth. MJ has been getting the better hand of him. Darby pulls it off. Low blow from each other. 4 coffin drops. It was just crazy. It was a really short match. I'm not gonna lie. I know I jumped all the way to the final, but just can't get over Darby Allin is our new AEW World Champion. I saw it happening in the future. I wasn't seeing happening now personally, but at the same time, everyone's talking about it. Darby Allin beat MJF, but I have to go back to say he did say before the match that the Don Callis family owes him a favor because Andrade couldn't get the job done. So how's that going to work out? Are they going to team up to take out Darby, make Darby Allin, his days as a champion rough for him? What do you guys think? I'm happy to see Darby Allin win. I see him kind of like, and I hope no one takes this the wrong way, kind of like a Mick Foley. He's going to be throwing his body on the line week in and week out, like we've already seen. So I definitely see a lot of coffin matches happening. I definitely see a lot of hardcore matches happening. People taking advantage of Darby because he's alone. Yes, Sting made an appearance last night, but I don't think Sting's going to be there every day. But I did hear that Sting's sons are possibly thinking about joining the wrestling company. Are they going to join at Darby Allin? Give him some backup? We don't know. We'll see how this plays out. I'm really excited to see this run. Hopefully he's not a transitional champion. MJF had like I think 6 or 7 title defenses beforehand, before he wrestled Darby. So I think that made 8 title defenses, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Quote me if anything. But nice to see. And like I told everybody, MJF makes everybody look good that he wrestles. Pretty much the way I looked at it was MJF wasn't ready for Darby. He wasn't able to cheat. He wasn't able to take advantage of Darby. Darby took advantage of him. Again, both of them hit a low blow. Darby finally did the 4 coffin drops from all 4 corners of the ring. Scorpion death drop. And then boom, 1, 2, 3. Darby Allin celebrates with half of the guys in the back. Even the Young Bucks walked up to him and said, "Congratulations, you deserve it." So it was nice. Again, Darby Allin is our AEW World Champion. Did you guys see that coming? I personally didn't, but a lot of people did chime in on some of my videos saying that they do think Darby was going to be the one to dethrone the devil. I still surprised, but I'm still happy as well. Darby's been a day one player in AEW. So they believed in him then. They believe in him now. Let's see what Darby Allin's gonna do, guys. Um, when again I started at the end pretty much. Darby Allin again is our champion. Um, it was a quick match, like I mentioned. But you did have a segment throughout the match. I mean, throughout the day rather. You had Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay talking in the back after Dynasty. They were both kind of distraught that they lost. Will pretty much told Kenny, "I hope you're not quitting because you're my hero, and I want to see you go after the world championship the same way I'm going to go after the world championship." He was like, "I thought this was my year, and I think it's your year too. So don't give up. You're my hero." And Kenny kind of heard that, and he was like, "Wow, I'm your hero. Like, I guess I might be able to put a little bit more in the tank and try to get it done." So they're still going to chase that title. The way they sounded, though, they're kind of planting seeds for the two of them to be a match for maybe Kenny's final match, farewell match, retirement match, whatever you want to call it. But that's down the road. It could be next year. It could be the end of this year. We really don't know. Maybe at World's End. I honestly know. Just throwing ideas out there. Don't really know. Um, but it was nice to see. Darby cried during his segment. You kind of had Kenny and Will both kind of like distraught. Both kind of had teary eyes, but it was nice to see personally. Again, can't wait to see what happens, but we'll see what happens, guys. Honestly, I'm excited for what's happening with AEW. You have to tune in every week. You never know who's going to win, honestly, and that just showed you. They had Kenny versus MJF at Dynasty, but he dropped the title to Darby the following Wednesday. So again, anything can happen with any AEW. So that's what I like about it so much. But throughout the match, I mean, throughout the day, you had a few matches. You had Champa versus Desmond Xavier, and decent match, high flying, unorthodox striking versus kind of like a ground and pound kind of guy. Um, okay match, honestly, can't complain. Hopefully the Rascals do their thing in the future. I know they kind of came over and they're kind of just being put in different spots. They win a couple matches, they lose matches, but they're showing out. They're still on TV almost every week, so it's nice to see that. Um, but Champ at the end, he tells pretty much everybody like, "I want the gold. I want all the gold. I want not only do I want Sylvie, I want the world championship. I want the tag team." He goes, "I want everything." So who's going to be his partner? Don't know. Honestly, if he becomes a tag team champion or goes for the tag team gold, who's going to team up with Champa and be on the same level as him? He's pretty crazy, the psycho killer he calls himself. So we'll see what Champa does. Um, but Champa also told MJF and Darby that I'm going after the world championship. So someone else who said they want the world championship. So that bullseye just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger on MJF's back. So what do you guys think? Who's going to be the one to dethrone? MJF just lost. Who's gonna be the one to dethrone Darby, or is he gonna have a massive run? We'll see, guys. Please let me know in the comments. Um, FTR also had a segment saying that they retired Christian Cage and Adam Copeland, and they pretty much told Tony Khan saying, "Whoever you bring in here, we're gonna knock them down." And then they did the 10-second pose in the middle of the ring. That was kind of cheesy. But who is going to be a tag team that go against FTR? Like, is there someone that I don't know? Are they going to pick someone up from WWE? Are they going to pick somebody up from TNA, New Japan? What do you guys think? Maybe the Dogs, as now that Gabe Kidd is injured, maybe the Dogs, Finley and Connors go after him. I honestly don't know, but we'll see, guys. Let me know what y'all think. What would be a nice tag team you want to see against FTR? You had Jet Speed versus Claudio, or sorry, the Jet Kevin Knight versus Claudio for the TNT Championship. And to be honest, um, decent match, man. Like Claudio was doing his thing. Yes, Claudio's overpowering him. But the Jet Kevin Knight, man, showing his speed, showing his agility, also showed his strength during that match. Long story short, Kevin Knight pulls off the win. People said it was an upset, but I don't think so. They're putting the young man over. They did the same thing with Kyle Fletcher a few months ago. They knew Kyle was the future. Yes, Kyle's hurt. Man, I hope you come back stronger than ever. But right now, Kevin Knight is the future. Won the TNT championship and successfully defended it against Claudio. What does Kevin Knight do? After that match, he also says, "Hey, that was a great competitor, one of the hard hitting guys I've ever faced before." And I just want to say that I'm also looking at who's going to win out of Darby and MJF because two jets. What do you say? Two belt jets is two fly would be two fly, something to that effect. So he's also looking for double gold. Is it possible? I think it's kind of early for Kevin Knight. You just got the TNT championship, but I understand. And I always said if the TNT champion is undefeated, why can't he challenge for the AEW World Championship? I said was saying it about Kyle. Why can't it happen? You know, Wardlow was undefeated. Um, Jade Cargill was undefeated when she had the TBS championship. Why didn't they challenge for the AEW World Championship, men or women? You know what I'm saying? So I can see it happening if Kevin Knight goes undefeated. Let him challenge for that championship against Darby. That would be a crazy match. But I will say, I am super excited to see when Kyle Fletcher comes back. Kevin Knight versus Kyle Fletcher for the TNT Championship. Don't know when that will be, Kyle. Hopefully you come back soon. But man, that's going to be one hell of a fucking match. Both of you guys are high flyers. Again, Kyle Fletcher, I'm really high on. Kevin Knight, I'm really high on. I don't even care who wins that match. I just want to see a great match between those two. What do y'all think? Is that going to be a banger or is it going to be a letdown? I personally feel like it's going to be a banger, but y'all let me know in the comments. You also had Jericho come out with Renee, and he pretty much says, it is what it is. I lost, you know. And before he could even finish what he was saying, Ricochet and the Demand come out and kind of rain on his parade already. They're like, hey, man, what are you going to be? You going to be the guy that comes in every week and get your ass beat by us? And they're like, you know what? We're going to do that. And then he kind of convinced Ricochet to come to the ring and wrestle or fight each other one on one. Ricochet goes, "Hey guys, stay in the back. I got this." He goes to the ring, gets beat up by Jericho. The three of them of the GOA and Ricochet, the Demand, beat down on Jericho and also do the Rico Salt. You know, whatever. Um, but you see Jericho laid out, and I'm surprised. Big Bill didn't come out. Brian Keith didn't come out. I know they had their issues last year, but nobody came to the aid of Chris Jericho. So I'm thinking, like I said before, what is Chris Jericho back for? Who's going to have Chris Jericho's back? It's going to be Hook. You know, it's going to be Big Bill, Brian Keith. Doesn't look like it for those two. Is he going to join with MJF again? Like, what do y'all think? Who's going to have Chris Jericho's back? Because he can't beat the three of them from the Demand by himself. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But right now, Jericho is a lone wolf. What do you guys think? You had a match with Will Ospreay versus Hechicero, and Will still, you know, saying that his neck is injured. So Hechicero was targeting his neck, and Will Ospreay does win this match. But right after the match, he looks over and he sees Marina Shafir kind of staring him down, which I thought was odd because his girl, you know, Alex Windsor wasn't out there, so that was kind of odd that she would kind of show up. Well, he actually gets attacked by Mark Davis, his old partner from Aussie Open. And Mark Davis been looking crazy. So it looks like Will Ospreay just finished with the Death Riders, and now he's moving over to have a feud with the Don Cal family again. Um, and right now, I'm pretty much saying that next week he's probably going to wrestle Davis because Davis took him out. It is weird though, because right after that, you had Tekla come out talking shit, and Alex Windsor interrupts her, and she was like, "Why are you out here? You wasn't even out here when your man was getting beat down. Like, what are you doing?" And then she said, "Look, when I say the bitches come out, a bitch came out, and look what happened. Alex Windsor." But it was a funny segment. Technically, talk her ass off. I didn't realize how good on the mic she was. Honestly, she definitely had Windsor kind of eating her words a little bit, but they did say a match was going to happen. So technically, like, yeah, I'm gonna take out another bird from the Brawling Birds. And as she said that, you had Sky Blue and Julia Hart kind of attack her, but Alex Windsor was ready, so they did announce Alex Windsor versus Tekla for the women's championship tomorrow on Collision, or tonight on Collision, I should say. But what's weird is I thought they're going by wins and losses. How did Alex Windsor, as a singles competitor, have the most wins right now? So that's a little off to me. I know they were showing the board before about who had the most wins, but Alex Windsor for the last couple of weeks, and even months in AEW, has been a tag team partner. So how does she get any singles wins? Same thing with um Jamie Hayter. How did they become, you know, the number one contender? But y'all let me know if I missed something. Uh, and then we had Darby Allin's match that he wins. You also had a match with Willow versus Camilla or Camille, however they're saying it. And it's just odd to me because it was a quick match too. 7 to 10 minutes max. I don't know if they ran out of time because of all the segments and all the matches, but the last two matches of the night, the World Championship men's and the TBS Championship women's, was real. I felt like it was rushed between the two of them, maybe 25 minutes. And I'm being exaggerating. I think Darby celebrated more than the match actually took place. But Camilla actually starts beating her down. Willow kind of like does a roll up and beats her. But I was actually thinking during this match before it happened, was Camilla trying to slow down Willow so Mercedes can come back? Remember, the Brick House was working with Mercedes Monet last year. Was the Brick House trying to slow her down so Mercedes Monet can come back and regain her championship? Like, it could have been something like, oh, Camilla won and then she got in the ring, with Mercedes, and Mercedes, Camilla laid down and gave the champion and lost the championship to Mercedes. Some dumb shit like that. Kind of like what happened with Hogan and Kevin Nash in WCW. The finger poke of death or some shit. But that's what I thought was gonna happen. It didn't. Willow pulls up like a roll up. Camilla's like, oh shit, like I lost, and just rolled out, and that was it. But again, the last two matches of the night were really fucking short. Like, I know people complain about the women's championship or the women's matches kind of get shortened for a lot of times, but again, that match was short, and so was Darby versus MJF. But that's just me maybe critiquing too much. But what do y'all think? Were those matches too short, especially being title matches? I feel like it was. But again, y'all let me know. But in all, guys, we have a new AEW Men's World Champion, Darby Allin. And I don't know if anybody else has picked this up, but I thought about it last night. Darby Allin used to go by a different name, Darby Graves. And before he joined AEW, he changed his name. Now I don't know exactly when, so I know someone's going to talk shit, but I don't know exactly when. But he used to go by Darby Graves, and then changed the name to Darby Allin. Now I wasn't sure if that was his real name, so I googled it last night, and that's not his real name. He's like Samuel something. But Darby Allin changed his name before he joined with AEW. But think about this: Darby said at that promo that he never changed for nobody. He's always himself. That he was going to do it as Darby Allin. But like I just said, he changed his name from Darby Graves. And what does Allen broken up stands for? All in. Darby Allen's last name is All In. So he said it. I'm all in with this character. That blew my mind. Now, if someone else picked that up before, it is what it is. But again, Darby Allin, all in. It is what it is, guys. But again, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great one. Good night.